Okay, so you have told yourself that I am going to be consistent, I am going to show up, but and you show up, you try to show up, you try to create content, you have ideas and everything, but you cannot be like, you're not able to be consistent for the long time, right? Okay. So, do you ever feel like that you are stuck in a cycle of saying, I am going to be consistent this time, but you are not being consistent? And what do I mean by consistency? See, it depends, it varies from person to person, right? For some people, consistency means daily posting, and for some people, posting thrice a week or twice a week. So, it varies, obviously, but you have to figure it out what works for you, not for them. And the thing is, the way, if we talk about the social media platform, like Instagram, a lot of people talk about posting thrice a day, but a lot of people post thrice in a week and it works for them. But if you are able to sustain that frequency for the long time, then that is consistency. And if you feel like, I would say 3-4 months before, I was stuck in a cycle of, I used to say that I am going to be consistent, and I used to post for like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and then I used to ghost. Like, I just used to stop posting for a month, 2 months, sometimes more than 3-4 months. And this was the cycle that I was repeating. Then what changed? Actually, it is a decision that you have to make. It is a decision that you have to make, that this is a priority. Content creation is a priority, that I am going to build my personal brand, and my personal brand is a priority. And why it's a priority? I know that you will find a lot of, reasons. I would not say excuse, but because there are reasons. I know that, and important reasons, I would say. But your personal brand is also important, and it needs to be prioritized. Your personal brand is a portal that, it's like a experience that you give to the world, that you give to the other people. You don't know that your content piece, how it is, a certain content piece, how it is going to affect a certain person, your audience, how it's going to change the world. You might never know, like, not know that. But the key is to actually start. And even if you don't see results at first, does the result matter? That does the like numbers matter? Yes, it does. I am a social media manager, I am a personal branding strategist, and when I work with clients, the first thing they see is the numbers. But the real work starts when you do the actual work, break out the fear of being seen, fear of visibility. A lot of people have the fear of visibility, the fear of being seen, but the only way to get over that fear for you is to actually show up, literally show up. I know that if, one of you are listening and saying that I don't have time, I have 9 to 5, or maybe I have a business, I have a clients, I have this, I have that. Yes, and those things are important, but you have to make a time to actually prioritize, actually do the damn thing, right? And I am not here to tell you that, you have to follow a rigid schedule, you have to, this is not just another discipline lecture, right? That I am telling you advice that this is schedule that you have to follow, this is the plan you have to follow, this is. And I'm not like shaming you for disappearing, that you didn't focus on before. We are not focusing on why you didn't post before, why you were inconsistent before, but we are focusing on right now to recommitting to your goal, that actually putting in the work, and realizing that how much it is important. So the main question is personal brand important to you, and what are the reasons? At least list down 3 why you want to build a personal brand, and what is your goal with building a personal brand. Because there will be time when you are going to, feel like, okay, I'm not going to do it, and it's fine, something will come up. But if you have a strong why, then you are able to push through in those moments. Sometimes things are going to be busy, and that's okay. And for those times, pre-planning works. How I do it, the reason, I am building my personal brand is I want to build a community. I want to build a community of like-minded people, basically learn, evolve, and grow. Because when you build your personal brand, when you show up online, there are a lot of limiting beliefs and mindset blocks that come up. And by showing up, just by sharing your message, just by being authentic, you do a lot of inner work and grow and evolve as a person. And this is like my reason. And also, build a business around it. I would not say that, building a business comes first, or this one comes first. I am not comparing my goals. I have few reasons, and list down your few reasons. It can be anything, right? The second step, understanding that you will always not have time. So stick to a frequency that works, and you have to experiment it with it. The second step is to realizing that what frequency works for you. Content posting, if you're posting content and like just to say 5 times a week, it can work for you, but it might also not for you work for you. When I first started posting on LinkedIn, at first I was posting 6 times a week, but then I reduced to 3 times a week. Around after a month of posting, I realized that 6 times per week is not going to be sustainable for me. And if I'll continue 6 times a week, following all the guru's advice that they say that you need to post daily, then I will probably not be continue with it, maybe stick with it. So I reduced it to thrice a week, and it is working for me. It is working well for me, and it doesn't feel draining. I don't feel like I am showing up on LinkedIn just for showing up. I love that. And you have to figure out that frequency by yourself. And some people say that plan a month before content, batch content for a month. I like to batch content like per week basis, not like a monthly basis. So my process of content creation is basically throughout the week I jot down the ideas in my notes app. And sometimes I'll get 5 ideas, sometimes I'll get 15 ideas. It varies, obviously. But you have to set the intention, at start of the week, that I am willing to receive ideas. I am open to receive ideas, divine ideas, I would say. And then I write it down. And then on the weekends, I create content for LinkedIn of that ideas. And it works for me. I create content and it works for me. So you will have to find out what works for you. Okay, so this is about system. So you are not inconsistent, you just don't have the right system. And I was not consistent because, first thing, the main reason that before I was not consistent, first, I didn't have the right system. Second, I didn't had the clarity about like what I wanted to post. Like if it just to say YouTube, right? Even a month before, I didn't know what to post. Like I want to talk about a lot of things here, but I couldn't, because everybody was saying that you have to have niche. Without niche, you cannot grow. But part of me was like, "Ki, I don't want to have a niche." That inner feeling that I don't want to have a niche. But so what I did, I created a offer, basically. I would say offer outline. And then, like, of all, like, I figured out who is my audience. I literally, I have made a like ideal audience persona. I have named her. Like, I am that detailed. I have created that detailed like persona. And then after that, I have wrote down everything that, okay, this is how, like, I am going to see will be benefited from my content. This is how I have listed down each and everything reason. And then I am creating content for her. So you don't have to niche down, because a person can have multiple interests. My audience can have multiple interests. Like my audience can be interested in manifestation, marketing, personal branding, and content creation. And this is what I want my audience to be, right? So you can do that. Like, have your messaging clear. Know that, you know, who is your ideal audience and how you want to help them, basically. To summarize, first of all, you need to be clear on your messaging, your brand positioning. Be clear. Have clear idea about that. Second, create an offer outline. Write down your, like, basically start from your ideal audience persona, literally write it down how you are going to help the processes and everything, and create an offer outline. And the third thing, have a system that works for you. You have to experiment, and you will figure out a system that will work for you. Okay, and I have shared my journey with you, my process with you, and I hope you find helpful. And if you have any more questions, do comment below. I would love to answer them for you. And also, okay, your words matter. Your content, it is impactful. Your stories, people want to hear. So I invite you to create content, post consistently. You don't have to overthink. You don't have to niche down. Just post. Trust your voice, and it is going to be so much impactful. It is going to be so much helpful to people. We are waiting. I am waiting, actually. Create content and tag me. You know, you can tag me on LinkedIn, you can tag me on Instagram. I would love to watch your content. We are waiting for your perspective, your stories, your experiences, your learnings. Your content is valuable. Your content is worthy of attention. Your content is worthy of putting out there. So please post it, okay? And it is going to be so much great, so much valuable. It is going to be so much amazing. You don't have to wait for the perfection. Like right now, I was recording this video. I had an idea, but I didn't write the script, or I didn't even outline it. I just had an idea and I came here and I talked about it. And I know that this is going to be great. This is going to be so much helpful. And yes, you have to do it too. Okay, if you feel aligned with my vibe, do subscribe. And yeah, see you in my next video.